morning. I had planned on 30 minutes, but I have 5. So I guess there really are no coincidences in Austin. It may or may not surprise you that I'm going to go in a different way from my colleague, Mr. Busby, who's a fine lawyer. But I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to scream at you. I'm not going to point my finger and shake my fist. I just think, first off, no offense, but you're politicians. Y'all can probably get that faux rage quicker than most mammals. It's a skill set you got. I'm not going to attack my colleagues on the other side. I don't think they are good lawyers. I think they are great lawyers. They are living legends. But here's the point about that. Mr. DeGuerin, it is DeGuerin, Mr. Hardin, Miss Epley, Mr. Donnelly, some of the greatest lawyers in Texas literally could not put together a cogent case that could convince anyone that these things occurred beyond a reasonable doubt. These aren't second chair misdemeanor prosecutors. They were the best of the best. They did the best they could. But the evidence simply wasn't there. And my friends on the committee, here's a pro tip. If you're doing this investigation that will literally cost millions and millions of dollars and take weeks and weeks out of our senators' lives, you know, one person you might have talked to, me. I've been representing Ken Paxton for 8 years. Do you think they could have called me and said, hey, Dan, we got a problem with Paxton. What about this dark night? What about this kitchen cabinets? What about this Brandon Kamick? I was literally, sorry, I said I wasn't going to scream. I was literally having lunch with Mr. Donnelly when this was going on. Do you think? Before we wrote that check, he could have said, hey, Cogdell, buddy, let's talk. They didn't do that. I'm not the world's greatest lawyer, but I'm pretty easy to find. The fact that they wouldn't literally pick up the phone and call me, that's a clue that they were more invested in the conclusion that they wanted than they were invested into the investigation. How much time, Your Honor? 1.5 minutes. I would make a joke about my personal life, but I won't. Can I see the picture of Brandon Kamick? One of the things that's really harder than it looks when you are a criminal defense lawyer is to argue to a jury. I need the picture, not the statement. There we go. Thank you. And thank you, Eric, for everything. One of the things that's harder than it looks is trying to explain to a jury what reasonable doubt looks like. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what reasonable doubt looks like in this case.
1 minute left.
Mr. Kamick told you this wasn't a baseless investigation. This was a legitimate investigation. Look, I respect David Maxwell. I've known him for a long time. But with respect to that legacy, his milk carton has expired. It's over. When he gets up there and looks you in a straight face and says it's a crime to investigate whether or not something is a crime, come on. We were born at night, but not last night. That is dumber than a bucket of hair for a Texas Ranger to say it's a crime to investigate the legality of the search. By the way, that's how my friends Mr. DeGuerin and Mr. Hardin and I make a living. It's not a crime. It's not. But Kamick said, not a crime, legitimate, I believed in it. I thought that was something there. Paxton never asked me to lie, cheat, or steal. And I was doing the best that I could. That is game, set, match. I think that's the phrase. I don't play tennis. It's game over. The whole case was around this illegal relationship with Mr. Paul and Mr. Wynn, who they didn't call, and my friend Ken Paxton.
Mr. Cogdell, you're going to have to wrap up. I'm sorry.
Let me just say this. It was an honor to be here. Never thought I would. Thank you. But this is not about me. It's not about Ken Paxton. It's about whether or not you have a reasonable doubt. I suspect he did some things that you probably didn't like. I get that. I understand that. But that's not the issue. The issue is whether the proof is there that is so convincing that it convinces you beyond a reasonable doubt, the same standard of proof that's in a death penalty case. It's not. It's not. It's not. 2 words. 2 words. Not guilty. Thank you.